Hello everybody. Today we are here to see the lecture number 2 on chapter number 2nd of cutting tool material and holding devices. I am Mr. P.P. Mangave, lecturer in Department of Mechanical Engineering at Sharad Institute of Technology Polytechnic, Yadra. To give a brief summary of this lecture, the different things that we are going to see, that is summary of different tool materials that we have seen in the last lecture, comparison chart again seen in the last lecture, and next that is classification of cemented or sintered carbides. So as we have seen in the last lecture, the different tool materials, they are carbon steels. Carbon steels are again further classified into low carbon steel, medium carbon steel and high carbon steel. The amount of carbon that determines the tool hardness and other properties of these steels. That is, if the carbon is more, the tool becomes more brittle, and if the carbon is less, it also increases the strength and it becomes less brittle. Coming to the next tool material, that is medium alloy steel. The medium alloy steel consists of different materials along with ferrous. They are required in certain composition and for particular applications. Next material is high speed steel. These are most probably used for high speed applications such as drilling, etc. Next is stellite. Next, carbides. These two materials are advancement of the other alloy steels, but these become more brittle when used for larger force area. So the drawbacks of these materials have been overcome in carbides and other materials. Next is ceramics. Again, another type of material that is to be used. There are other materials of ceramics which are used for grinding and other surface finishing operations where very less amount of force is to be included. Next is cubic boron nitride, and next is polycrystalline boron nitride. So the drawbacks of cubic boron nitride are overcome in polycrystalline boron nitride. In the next slide, we will see what are the different properties that are to be compared for each and every material of a cutting tool. As you can see, a chart is plotted here of hot hardness and wear resistance versus the strength and the toughness. As you can see, the hot hardness and wear resistance temperature increases, the strength and toughness decreases. So from the starting from the left, again a main characteristics that is seen, as the amount of carbon inside a tool increases, the strength and the toughness properties of that tool decreases. As you can see in the left corner, diamond is the most hardest material, but it has less toughness. So you can see the hot hardness and wear resistance of diamond is high, but the strength and toughness of diamond is very less. So as you can see, coming towards the right hand side, high speed steels have greater strength and toughness, that is they can be used for high speed machining operations, and intermediate are the coated carbides, or you can say carbides. The major difference between carbides and coated carbides are coated carbides have a great surface strength while carbides have a less surface strength. Coming to the next point, as we have seen, what are carbides? Carbides are nothing but a proportion of cobalt present inside that tool material which has significant effect on these tools. That is, the cobalt percent not only determines the hardness but also determines the toughness of a carbide. That is, in a carbide, the cobalt percentage determines these two important properties. Now, as seen, 3.3 to 6% of cobalt mixture gives greater hardness, while 6 to 5% gives greater toughness. So, a cobalt included in a carbide must be having a proper mixture quantity, which will not only probably increase the hardness but also it will increase the toughness. So in this carbides, tungsten carbide tools are most commonly used for machining steel, cast irons, abrasive and non-ferrous materials. Further, these carbides are classified into two types, that is tungsten carbide and titanium carbide. These carbides had been early introduced in the year 1930s, which were having a wide range of applications, and these are most probably in early days they were not having a different coating material, but as the machining technology evolved, these carbides had been coated to increase the surface strength and increase its toughness capacity, which would be used for machining greater speeds. Also, these carbides have a greater capacity of high elastic modulus, and they also have a high thermal conductivity, and they have a low thermal expansion. These all three properties are most desirable for any cutting tool that is to be used at a higher cutting speed. So you can see, as you can see, there is thermal conductivity is high and low thermal expansion. If a tool or a cutting tool material has a high thermal conductivity, that means it can dissipate the heat easily which is generated during the machining, and that will not cause any damage to the dimension as well as the tool surface. Also, as I said, that will not cause any dimension change, that is again due to the low thermal expansion. But carbides have another desirable property, that is it is a cost effective tool material and die materials which can be used for a wide range of applications. Two major groups of carbides used for machining operations are tungsten and titanium carbides, as said. Now here carbides have been classified into two different types, that is straight or single carbide. Next is composite carbide, and the third part is mixed carbide or titanium carbide. Now here you can see clearly that the carbides have been classified depending upon the content. Now further classification we will be seeing depending upon the type of machining it is to be used and the type of content, that is the ISO classification. This classification, that is straight carbide, composite carbide and mixed titanium carbides, are classified depending upon the composition of cobalt and other binder materials. Now we will see one by one what is straight carbide, composite carbide and mixed carbides or mixed titanium carbides. Here, coming to the first classification, that is straight or single carbide. The first straight single carbide inserts were most probably used in earlier 1950s or 1960s, where these inserts were metallurgically produced by mixing and compacting different tool materials at a sintering temperature with a composition of tungsten carbon 90 to 95% with cobalt. That is, the straight carbides or single carbides were having a composition of tungsten carbon of 90 to 95%, and remaining composition was consisting of a cobalt. Now here cobalt acts as a binder material for tungsten carbon. The hot, hard and wear resistance tungsten carbon grains were held together by cobalt. That means the cobalt gives the desired strength and toughness properties that are to be required for a cutting tool. Now these tools, as you know, the composition is consist of a tungsten carbon of 90 to 95% with a cobalt binder material. Such tools can be used for machining grey cast irons, bronze, brass, etc. Now why they are used for machining these materials? Because they produce short discontinuous chips at cutting velocities 2 to 3 times that of possible of high speed steels. That means high speed steels can be overcome for greater speeds, or high speed steel material can be overcome, or the disadvantages of this material can be overcome by using straight or single carbide. Further, in the next classification, that is composite carbide. A single carbide, as I said, there are many disadvantages because of rapid wear and diffusion of cobalt and carbon to form chip under the high stress and temperature. That means the cobalt and the carbon material that is included in a straight or single carbide that mostly helps to form a stress at high temperature and region between the tool and the workpiece. So that is why a composite carbide, that is another concept that has come into existence. So for machining steels of successfully, and another type are most probably machined by using composite carbides. These are made by using 8 to 20% of a gamma phase which is added to a tungsten carbon and cobalt mix. That is, the tungsten carbon and cobalt mix is a composition of a straight or a single carbide. Here a gamma phase is added to this. Now what do you mean by a gamma phase? As written in the last point, a gamma phase is a mixture of titanium carbon, titanium nitride, nitride carbon, etc. These are the different materials that are to be added to tungsten carbon to increase the desired properties such as its hardness, toughness and other wear resistance properties of single carbides to make it suitable for machining different materials. Now here, as you can see, this mixture of gamma phase, what does it do? It increases the stability and less wettability by steel. Next is mixed carbides, or you can simply call mixed titanium carbides. Now we have seen composite carbide and single or straight carbide. Single or straight carbide consists of material that, as I said, it consists of cobalt as a binder material, and it consists of a tungsten and carbon, that is in percent of 90 to 95%. Now this single or straight carbides have been overcome in composite carbides. Now the different disadvantages of composite carbides have been overcome in mixed carbides. Now here titanium carbide is not mostly suitable, but it is also more stable and much harder than tungsten carbon. So for machining ferritic steels which cause intensive diffusion and adhesion wear, a large quantity of 5 to 25% of titanium carbon is added with tungsten carbon and cobalt to produce another grade that is called mixed carbide. So here a large quantity of titanium carbon is mixed with tungsten carbon and cobalt. So in single carbide, whatever the things that they have added, that is tungsten carbon and cobalt as a binder material. In composite, they have added a gamma phase, whereas in mix, they have added titanium carbon with tungsten carbon and cobalt to produce a mixed carbide. Now, as you can see, the titanium carbide content reduces the toughness of the tools, and as you can see, it has carbon content. So more the carbon content increases, the less is the toughness of the tool. Therefore this carbon content or this titanium carbon is added in a particular, or you can say optimum quantity, so as to give a proper toughness to the tools, and so this quantity is maintained up to a certain level so that the toughness of the tools does not decrease. Therefore for finishing with light cut but high speed and harder grades containing up to 25% of titanium carbide are used. For heavy or for machining high amount of forces, or you can say for machining more harder materials by using mixed carbides, these mixed carbides are containing a amount of 5 to 10% of titanium carbide is used. That is for machining high amount or for machining more forces, we require a titanium carbon that is in the percentage of 5 to 10. So for these were the different classifications that we have seen according to compositions. Now depending upon the ISO code, or you can say the color code, the carbides are again further classified. As you can see in the image in between, they are classified into three different types, that is P type, M type and K type. Here the P type carbide is denoted with color light blue, M type carbide is denoted with color of yellow, K type is denoted with a color of red. Now what are the different applications? As you can see listed in the right hand side of the column, P type is used for machining long chip forming or common materials like plain carbon and low alloy steels. Now what does long chip formation? That means they are mostly used for machining ductile materials. Now what is a P type of carbide group used for machining? As you can see, P type is used for ductile and long chip forming materials. M type is used for machining long as well as short chip forming ferrous materials like stainless steel. And K type of carbides are used for machining short chip ferrous, non-ferrous metals and non-metals like cast iron and brass, etc. Now further, these three types of carbide are again classified into different types, that is P01, P02, P03, etc. etc. That is P01, that consists of a material of steel casting. The process is used this type of carbides for precision finish machining. P10, that is made of material steel and steel casting. The process for this type of carbides used, or this type of carbides are used for machining of turning, threading, milling, high speed and small chip forming materials. Next type is P20, that is made up of a steel castings, malleable cast iron. This is used for turning, milling, medium speed with small chip section. Next type of P type is P30. It consists of material steel castings, malleable cast iron forming long chips. This is used for processing, or this is used for machining operations like turning, milling, low cutting speed and large chip section. Next is P40, that is steel casting with sand inclusions. These are the material from which P type of carbides are made. They can be used for machining processes of turning, planing, low cutting speed and large chip section. And last P type classification is P50. It is made up of material steel and steel casting which are having low tensile strength. That is, low tensile strength means this can be used for operations which require high toughness during turning, planing, shaping, etc. etc. So depending upon the process, that type of carbide is to be selected for a particular machining applications. Next is K type. The K type, as I said earlier, each type of carbide, that is ISO type, that is P type, K type and M type, are further classified into 0, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. These are having major constituents of their as in common, but certain other materials that are added which classify them, and they can be used for machining different applications. As you can see in K type, what does K type materials are further classified? They are seen, or they are listed in table below. They consist of K01, which consists of a material hard grey cast iron, aluminum alloys with high silicon, that is aluminum alloys consisting of a high silicon content is classified as K01 type cemented, or you can say K type carbides. This can be used for applications of turning, precision turning, boring, milling and scraping. Next, K10, it consists of a grey cast iron with hardness of 220 Brinell hardness number, malleable cast iron, aluminum alloys containing silicon. So this can be used for turning, milling, boring, reaming, broaching, scraping, etc. K20, it consists of material grey cast iron hardness up to 220 Brinell hardness number. They can be used for machining processes such as turning, milling, broaching requiring high toughness. Next is K30. It consists of soft grey cast iron and low tensile strength steel. This can be used for turning, reaming, under favorable conditions. As you can see, it is a consisting of a softer material. It does not have a greater hardness and therefore it can bear less forces, so it is not used for milling and broaching and other high force including machining operations. So K30 can be used for operations such as turning and reaming. Next classification of K type is K40. It consists of a soft non-ferrous materials that can be mostly used for machining operations of turning and milling. Coming to the last type, that is M type. M type is again classified into M10, M20, M30 and M40. M10 consists of steel castings, manganese and grey cast iron. It is used for turning at medium or high cutting speed with medium chip section. Next is M20. It consists of austenitic steel, manganese steel, spheroidized cast iron and malleable cast iron. So this is the composition of M20 and that can be used for turning, milling, medium cutting speed and medium chip section. Next classification is M30, which consists of steel, austenitic steel, spheroidized cast iron, heat resisting alloys. Now as you can see, heat resistance alloys are added here. So this type of carbides can be used for medium cutting speed and large chip section. That is, it can be also used for turning, milling and planing. And last type of classification of M type is M40. It consists of low tensile strength steel, brass and light alloy and free cutting steel. This can be used for turning, profile cutting, especially in automatic machining. As you can see, low tensile strength steel and brass and light alloy, this combination makes it suitable for using profile cutting and especially automated machines where it is used to cut or machine difficult shapes. So these are the different classification of carbides, or you can simply call ISO classification of carbides, that is P type, K type and M type. This details, whenever you study these details, most probably you have to study for what kind of applications this each type of ISO classification of carbides is to be used. In the next lecture, we will be seeing the classification of inserts, its nomenclature and etc. Thank you.